Excuse me, could you point me in the direction of ScreamCity? Never mind, I think I found it.
Hello, horror freaks, and welcome back to ScreamCity. I'm your host, Jess.
And I'm Monica, and in today's episode, we will be discussing another new 2024 movie, Late Night with the Devil.
On Halloween night, 1977, America gathered around for a live TV event that shocked a nation. What happened was real. What you are about to see is the recently discovered master tape of what went to air that night.
Fine.
The crispiness of the sound is so
Yes.
satisfying.
It is very satisfying. I don't know who the narrator is, but he has like that old like 90s preview narrator like voice. It sounds cool.
I went through a huge 60s, 70s, 80s
like era
vibe thing in high school. So this gets a pass for me.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I love
and it's
it.
also spooky.
It is spooky.
Very spooky.
In time for Summerween.
And you mentioned this right a second ago. It's giving Goosebumps vibes.
Yes, I love it.
All right.
It's great.
Well, before we continue on with the movie, let's get life stuff out of the way.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Monica,
Yes.
any jump scares these past couple of days?
Let's see then. I had a nightmare last night.
Was it
And it was
on Elm Street?
It wasn't.
Okay.
No, or I had a nightmare. It woke me up at 4 a.m. And then I stayed up for a good like 20 minutes because of how scared I was. It was like I'm not going to go into detail about it because it honestly freaked me out a little bit. But it was one of those really vivid like nightmares that like you still feel that you're in when you wake up afterwards.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to take some time
Those
to
are
like
scary.
get out of it.
Yeah.
So I had one of those last night and I don't know, I couldn't get out of it. So then I eventually fell asleep, and then the other jump scare was that I woke up late. And so I had to let my coworkers know. And I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna get late.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, it's Monica here. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know.
Running a little late.
Just running a little laddie. Yeah, because I was like, oh great. Well, I was like, well, it's fine. I woke up at 4. I don't have to wake up until like 5. So like I have a good hour. Nor my body woke me up at like 5:30, and I was like, oh, gotta go.
Very
Yeah. So, but that was my jump scare really for the week. Nothing else. What about you?
I also had a jump scare.
I love that.
You know, it's funny. I'm very glad
Mhm.
that your nightmare did not become reality.
Oh, girl. Oh, I would.
However, mine did. I won't go into detail, but cast and crew know about
Got the vivid details.
know about the details. Let's just say Autumn Marie, not Mama Marie, but Autumn Marie was a very naughty girl this morning.
Yeah.
Very naughty.
That's gross.
Very naughty. And it was a nightmare. And it wasn't on Elm Street. If it was on Elm Street, I would have probably not cared so much, but it wasn't.
You wouldn't have cared.
But it wasn't. So, Autumn Marie, shame on you.
She knows what she did. She's
she-
listening and watching right now, knowing.
And she's laughing.
She's laughing at
She's
you.
laughing. She's like, and I'll do it again.
I love that for you.
Anyway, that's just me.
Any other ones?
I was really thick. I was really sick.
You were really thicky.
I was really sicky. Yeah. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Are you chilling?
I'm Jay chilling. I got
Sick.
watered down Dutch Bros. What's better than that?
True.
Anyway,
Truey.
that's me.
Okay. All right.
right.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the movie. So we mention it in literally every episode, and this is a new movie. So you cannot say that we did not warn you, okay? Di que te fue bien, because we're warning you now that there's spoilers.
Really?
Yeah, girl. Okay.
Good to know.
All right. So just to give you a brief summary, this is your chance to click out if you haven't already. If you do not want spoilers. A live television broadcast in 1977 goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms. Nation's living rooms. Does that make sense?
Nations,
Nations, living rooms.
living rooms. Yeah.
All right, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, that happens.
It does.
It
Oh
do.
well. Oh, and it does.
Oh, I do.
It sure do.
But anyway, now that we have that out of the way, Monica.
Yeah.
I think we watched this on the same night.
Did we? Monday night?
Yeah.
Monday night. Not in the same
Um,
theater.
Not in the same theater. So what are your big three for this movie? First impression, favorite scene, favorite kill / spook.
Oh, girl. Okay. A first impression? I don't know.
Ah.
I still don't know. I'm once
Oh.
again left with like I liked it, but there was something lacking. I don't know what it was. I'm still kind of, I'm still letting it digest a little bit. It's not all the way there. I didn't hate the movie at all. And I wasn't like, oh my God, over the moon about this movie either. So I wasn't like 110% like impressed about it. I again would watch this. Like I would watch it again for another time just to kind of see what I missed or if I noticed anything different. It was a little slow and there were some parts that I feel dragged on a little bit that I kind of didn't care for, but it also picked up kind of in those, it would pick back up. So I don't know. I'm not really upset about it. It's just kind of something to mention. I will say how in love I am with how immersed I felt in the 70s vibe. I did like genuinely feel like I was watching
design.
100% like setting, cast, the whole set of the entirety of the movie being a set of like a behind the scenes set of like a TV show or broadcasting. I genuinely felt like I was watching something from the 70s and it was really, really cool. I will say I don't know if the vibe or the theme of the movie is supposed to be found footage, but I don't see it that way.
I wrote that down in my notes too. I went to Alamo.
Oh, I love it. And they provide.
And they provide.
They be providing.
They do be providing. Do I know what any of these notes say?
No,
because I
you're
wrote
in the
this
dark.
all in the dark.
Yep.
And I was just scribbling. I don't know what any of this says.
Yep.
But one of them is found footage? Question mark?
Yeah. It kind of, I don't know if that's kind of the theme or the intention of the movie, but I didn't really get found footage feels. It literally just felt like you were watching a broadcast, and then when you were kind of, when it was cutting in between of like the scenes or like the behind the scenes part, and it goes to black and white. There's not really like a camera that follows people. It's really just kind of whatever camera is angled at whatever character is talking or speaking or whatever. And I don't know. It's not really like a found footage. I don't know. But it's still interesting of how it was filmed. So I don't hate it. That's not really like a point to knock off or anything. It's just something that I kind of also noticed and took a note of. My favorite scene, I'm not sure. There were actually quite a few scenes that I really, really liked. But I think overall, I'm going to choose the scene where like Carmichael hypnotizes the audience, Gus, and technically us as like the viewers. And that whole scene was like super, super gross, but super, super cool. But then when they played it back, and they do the playback on the TV, and then it shows that it was all fake. I was like, not you gaslighting me.
There's some contradictory-ish in here. I thought he was also like against magic, or did I misinterpret that?
I don't think he's against magic. I think he's like the type that's like, I can perform magic, but I can also show you how fake it can be, if that makes sense. So the hypnotizing, I don't really know where he kind of got it from. I mean, also it's also the 70s. So like it was kind of in the most simplest of times where people were a little bit more gullible, where people were a little bit more easy to fool. Not saying that that's not these days, because there are still a handful of people who, you can easily trick into doing things. But, it's not really a conversation that was like, big back in the 70s of like not believing in people, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I just thought it was a really cool scene. Like the scene itself though, like when he was hypnotizing him, and then how like all those worms were coming out of his stomach and coming out, disgusting. Again, we were talking about parasites, I think at one point, or like when we were talking about the ruins and like just things inside you moving along your skin. Disgusting. It was a wild ride, and I liked it. I liked the way that it was shot. I liked the different angles that we got, and then just like the whole vibe of it was really cool. My favorite kill, I actually like the way that everyone died. Everyone's death was really cool. But I think I'm gonna choose Lily's. And I think it's because it comes with a little bit of a twist. I like that type of twist, even if it is a little bit predictable. I still like it. I like kind of even predicting it. I think it's fun for, to hype it up a little bit, and then just to make us as the watchers part of that twist, if that makes sense. Because us as the watchers, we also feel crazy with the character that's kind of going in through this haze or this, like, I don't know, flashback or sense of whatever the case is. And then just to find out that the character that we're following, who feels crazy, is the one doing the killing. So yeah, I like the way that, oh my God, why Delroy? I was like, why did I forget his name? Jack Delroy. I like the way that he, like, how we got like his compilation of like different scenes of like going through his career, and then how it ended with him killing Lily, killing Minnie, quote unquote, watching her die / like killing
actually
Lily.
killing Lily.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked that. And then again, I actually didn't expect much to happen after that, but I kind of like how it ended there. Like I didn't need more after that.
Very satisfied with
the
ending.
Like the ending is not what was lacking for me. I didn't mind the way that it ended. I think it ended actually pretty cool. I don't know what it is that I just feel it lacks something. I just don't know what it was. But maybe because there was just so much hype about this movie, and I like watched this preview maybe once or twice, and I really enjoyed the preview itself. So maybe I was just expecting more. Maybe this is one of the movies where I actually had expectations and it just kind of fell through a little bit. But it's not an overall bad movie. Like I liked it, and I would 100% watch it again. So that's me. What about you? Yeah.
Did you see your favorite?
My favorite?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
My first impression, I really enjoyed this movie.
It's good.
I really enjoyed this movie. I felt like I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Funny enough, I didn't find it very slow burn. I feel like it got straight to the point when Christu, the second that he started channeling, I don't know what he started channeling, the either Mr. Wriggles is what he was channeling, or the sort of occult that Jack signed himself into or whatever. I mean, he definitely wasn't channeling Minnie. I forgot Minnie's real name, but I know Minnie was a nickname for her. But yeah, I think it kind of, everything happened pretty well, like in time. I never knew where the movie was gonna go, like story and plot wise, which I think is fine. What else? Overall, I think it was a pretty unique and uncanny movie. I think there were two words that kept popping up in my brain as I was watching it, which, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be two different things, but terrifying and disturbing. I found the movie terrifying and disturbing personally. And as you were talking, I was a little spaced out, if you couldn't tell, but
always.
But as you were talking, I was thinking, I was like, man, the end really reminds me of something, and I don't know what it is, and I got it. I know what the ending reminds me of now. Not Houses October Built. What's the other movie?
Hell House?
Hell House. For some reason, the ending kind of reminded me of this.
I guess I can kind of see that
in a way.
Yeah,
it's
everyone dies.
Everyone dies. Found footage-y. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm sure when I'm more conscious, I can think of a reason why it reminds me of that. And guess what? This movie is definitely an analogy.
Yeah, for sure.
Not in wait. It's an allegory, not analogy.
I was like,
I keep doing it. I'm sorry.
Allegory.
It's an allegory. I don't know English apparently. So
Okay.
the English
Well, what about
major.
your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, I am between two. I really enjoyed Christu talking to the mom and the sister of Edmund. He channeled Edmund. I believed in Christu. I believed Christu. I mean, maybe he was a fraud. I don't know. But I mean, he was quite literally channeling. I mean, I don't know. Whatever.
Something evil. Either he was. I don't know. I feel like it's. I took it. Either he was real and he was conjuring something, or he was being a fake with the mom and the daughter. And
Mr. Wriggles,
Mr. Wriggles was like in the room and he started conjuring him, and then he was like, "Wait, hold on, wait, I actually feel something for real." So either way, I was gonna say either way, it was pretty good.
But I liked that story overall, or that scene. I thought it was pretty eerie, but also really nice at the same time. And then the other one that I liked as well was, you kind of mentioned this one, after June and Carmichael die. Oh, and Gus. We just see Jack, like the door closing on Jack's face as he's like watching, he sees everything. And then it's like a recap of his commercial, basically, is what it was. But he's actually like self-aware of everything in the car. It's super creepy, and I really liked it.
Yeah, that's good.
So those two were some of my favorite scenes. My favorite kill, again, all were pretty good. Y'all know I love me a good revenge kill. So Carmichael's 100%
Carmichael's was pretty satisfying.
Deserved and satisfying. But that was my favorite kill. But I do want to mention my favorite spook. So when Mr. Wriggles is talking through Lily.
Yeah, it was actually pretty creepy.
Not like that scene was creepy overall, but I noticed the jump scare. It was literally less than a second. Like, it was super small. It was like, I don't know if it was Minnie's face. I think that's what they say.
Oh, yeah. That was
or
pretty
Mr.
creepy.
Wriggles or whoever
I think it's supposed to be. Oh, I saw it as Minnie. I saw it as, I think her name is Madeline.
Oh.
Madeline, whatever, Minnie.
Yeah,
same person.
When they replay that scene,
you see
they
it like
see Minnie like standing behind Jack, but I'm like, that's not what I saw. What I saw was a face like right here. So,
I saw a face too,
I don't know,
like attached to the body.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my favorite kill / spook.
Okay, great. I love that.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back after these messages.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and discuss the movie a little bit more, and I'm really excited. I think we both have lots of thoughts and prayers. So let's get started. Do you want to go first? Do you have something you want to start the convo with?
You wrote this, but might as well get it out of the way. AI controversy.
Oh, yeah, Now, I was like, what are you talking about?
Now, I want to say something real quick before we continue. As someone whose two professions are at risk of being taken over by AI, yes, it's definitely scary and concerning. I was still really interested in watching the movie. I think what they did with AI was, I don't know. I don't even want to say too much, but as someone whose careers could definitely be at risk of AI, I still wanted to watch the movie, and I did, and I enjoyed the movie. That's all I want to say.
So I was able to read, honestly, like three to four different articles, and then I watched like a good few like YouTube videos of people, one reviewing the movie and then also talking about it. And so I don't know. So I think I'm in the middle. So a little bit of like devil's advocate, because I'm not on either side really. It's kind of a more in like the middle. Okay. So the whole AI controversy, I think some people are looking at it like, okay, yeah, boo, like big deal. It is what it is. Like one side is very like, our AI is like something, it's inevitable. Like we can't do anything about it. Like it's technology, it's on the come up. What are we going to do? The other side is very like, yes, but like, where does it stop? Or where, like, it's better to put our foot in front before it gets any bigger, right? So the thing where I'm kind of in the middle of is, yes, I don't like that we have to rely, or not really have to, but like, I don't like
starting
that.
to.
Yeah, that we're starting to rely on something like AI to put into things like films, or like in the film industry in general, because I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar. I don't want to compare it all the way to, but it kind of is. It's like, just as upset as I get when somebody uses so much CGI in like a movie, it really does feel inauthentic. It doesn't really feel great. And I think the other fight and battle with it is like, well, you know, that AI is like taking away jobs, and it's like, if you're going to be relying on that, nobody wants to pay for this. Nobody wants to pay for a person to do this. Again, I'm going to be in the middle about this. So I think what sucks is that a movie in the indie film industry, like Late Night with the Devil, it sucks that this is the movie that is, one, starting the conversation. I think it's an important conversation to have for sure, because like, us as movie reviewers, us as like people who, so I think it's an important conversation to have. I think it's because I do agree. Again, it's kind of a back and forth. Now, where people say, so with this movie, okay, AI in this movie specifically. So if you're not really aware of like the controversy and like what's going on with it. So this movie, the writers of this movie did admit to using AI and kind of using it and experimenting with it. And they used it in 3 stills. So it's the 3 photos, or the 3 pictures that we get whenever they do like, not cutaways, but like commercial breaks.
Like with the owl.
Yeah, and then also like the owl and like the logo for the night owl, I think they got from like AI or something like that. So some people are saying like, well, AI, you know, in order for it to be kind of to be used, or for it to be like comparable, like they steal ideas from other people who like create these ideas, and they take, I'm gonna be 100% honest, I didn't dig that deep into like knowing how AI exactly works. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, because I know, me personally, I'm pretty creeped out about AI.
Oh, I am
and
too.
I was like, I didn't feel like I feel like I sound like such like someone who doesn't want to grow with technology, but AI is genuinely scary to me.
It is really scary.
Because I've seen like photos and videos of like AI generated people, and then I saw a video of like, guess if this person is real or AI generated. Every single person looks so fucking real, and about 5 out of like 10 of those photos were AI generated, and you could not tell. I don't know, it was just so scary to me. So anyway, all of that to say, like, me kind of being in the middle, like, I don't agree with having to use AI in like filmmaking, but I don't like that this is the movie that you're deciding to boycott.
I agree.
Because it's already an indie film. It already didn't have that much to work with. So I think with what they worked with, I can still tell that so many people like put in their like hard efforts and works into this movie because of how great and like authentic it felt. I didn't feel like it lacked anything. Coming from someone who's not really a design major, who's into like graphic design and everything, I can say that it didn't really take away from my like viewing the movie or enjoying it at all whatsoever.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't really notice either.
I mean, the stills are on there for a short second, but
yeah,
I kept trying, like, I literally peeled my eyes every time one of those popped up, and I was like, where, you know, like,
yeah,
and it's nothing. I mean, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, like for someone who's not going to be really looking at it that really hard, like it didn't bother me whatsoever. I understand the people that are like, you know, we have to put our foot down at 0 because and then we don't want to let it to get to 100 type of mindset, and I 100% agree with that. But it just sucks that this is the movie that's getting the backlash, because I don't think it deserves it. I think that there's still a ton of people who worked a lot of hard hours to make it what it is. I still had a really good time watching this movie, and like I said, like I really loved that they stuck to the theme of like the 70s and the theme of it all. Like even like it had like previews, or like whenever the narrator was talking at the beginning, and he was mentioning like everything that was kind of like going on in the 70s. Yes, like all of that was all of that. And the fitting setting of like the I think kind of going into the movie a little bit now is like, I think what I also liked is that we took something like the devil, like something that we kind of see, like possession, that we see a lot of remakes of and a lot of in like horror movies, but they took a twist in it and kind of taking it from like in a cult and also putting it in the setting of like a TV broadcast, and also in the 70s when it was actually pretty popular. Like that's when like occults and things started becoming rising. Or started rising.
I think this was a very unique interpretation or twist on demonic possession. I was telling Monica a second, or right before we were we started recording, that on IMDb, BD, one of them. I have issues with those.
Yeah.
There's a fact or whatever, and I tried really hard to check to see if this fact was true. So I didn't find any source. I'm not saying it's fake or not, but what I was going with this is that I forgot where I was going with this. Basically, David, who plays Jack in the movie, wrote an article on
Fangoria.
On Fangoria about TV hosts. And I was trying so hard to find that article, so I don't know if it's true or not. I don't doubt that it's true. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. What were we talking about? I have no idea. But anyway,
the movie had, I think overall, aside from like the AI controversy that it's getting, I think the movie is doing really well.
Yes.
Like I think it's really, really good.
We were talking about the occult basically and everything. But one of the things that I wanted to mention is in the movie, we are kind of introduced to, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Xandor Debo, who's the Satanist, and the first person that came to mind when I saw this character was Aleister Crowley, who was an occultist / magician from in the early 40s, 30s, one of them.
Yeah.
But actually, I was like, no, I don't think it's Crowley that I'm thinking of. I think it was Anton LaVey, who he is the founder of the Church of Satan. So he gave me huge Anton LaVey vibes.
True. That's kind of what I mean, is that like the theme of this movie was literally so strictly 70s, like everything down to like what was popular in the 70s, whether it was pop culture, whether it was literally what was going on around that time. I think, was this the movie that I saw that there was like flashes of even like the serial killers that were around that time, like Ted Bundy, and like there was another one that I saw.
His name, but
like all of these occultists and like is it Charles Manson?
Yes, Charles
around
Manson.
that time.
Charles
yes,
Manson.
like all of this, like I can tell that they did their research and they did like around, I don't know, to kind of literally fit the theme of the 70s, and I thought that was really, really great, and it's what makes you feel immersed into the movie. And I don't think you can get that with AI.
I think another really cool thing about this movie, which I think is pretty common knowledge at this point, is that it made, I'm not a math major, so if I fucked this number up, I'm sorry. It made $666,666 $666,666.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know math or numbers, but I thought that was pretty cool.
It was pretty good. I was like, I love
cool.
how it's like 666, comma 666.
Yeah.
The devil continues.
The devil continues.
No, I love it. And I also love the little mention and nod to Ed and Lorraine Warren in Amityville.
Speaking
I love
of,
that.
During the movie, my sister looks over at me and she's like, Jack's voice reminds me so much of Ed. Like, she said Patrick Wilson, but I'm sure she meant like Ed Warren. His Patrick's interpretation of Ed, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Real quick, I just want to mention this. If you know, you know. But the Twin Towers were in this movie quite a bit. And if you know, you know.
The 70s.
My brother loves New York and architecture and everything. And I was like, no veo Roman. Because he's going to freak out.
He loves it.
And another cool thing that my sister and I kind of saw was literally at the beginning. I think one of the dates that is said in the movie is April 4th.
Mm-hmm. My mom's birthday.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's my mama's birthday.
Yeah. But I thought that was cool because I'm like, we're recording this a day before that.
Oh, that's
so
literally
cool.
so true. You're
Yeah.
so right. No, yeah, I don't know. Everything about this, everything about the movie was just really good. Like that's not why I don't not like it. I don't know. I don't know. I think that maybe talking about it a little bit out loud, I just think I had a lot of expectations for this movie and I think they just kind of fell through, which is why I stopped going into movies with expectations, but I just couldn't help myself with this one.
I don't think I had any expectations for this movie. I honestly didn't understand the trailer, period. And I think that's why I didn't have any expectations.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
But yeah, there's a lot of different things going on in this movie, that I really enjoyed. It does kind of gives you a lot without giving you details, if that makes sense. You kind of have to read between the lines with this one, which, I mean, I don't hate. I think I like having to kind of dig deep into my brain and thoughts and kind of see what it is that I come up with and as a watcher and everything and maybe what other people come up with. And I liked it. I liked it really. I liked it a lot. Also, I think, no, never mind. I'm confusing it with Immaculate. I was going to say that if Neon was one of the distributions for this movie, but it was not. It was
No,
for
but
Immaculate.
did you notice
How
the
many fucking
amount?
distribution? Bro, every
was
time
like,
one
no,
came on, I was
kid
like,
you
no, you're not.
We watched this April Fool's, right? And for a second, I
That
was
is
like,
so
No, for a
true.
second, I dead ass thought, okay, this is like an April Fool's prank by
The movie
Alamo
theater or something.
Draft House, right? But no.
Oh no, there were so many
wasn't.
distributions with
By
this movie. So
the
many.
eighth one, my sister and I are like, damn.
There's
it was
so
funny.
many.
But
Oh
it was,
my
It
gosh.
was so funny.
It just kept going and
It kept
going
going.
and going. And then I was
It
like, okay,
never
I get it.
stopped.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I ain't never heard about one.
Not one.
I know
No.
this is an Australian movie. It was made not in Australia, but it's an Australian made movie. And so I'm sure these are maybe more commonly known in Australia, but I did
I wonder
not recognize
if any of them did Talk to Me.
Probably. I didn't really. I think Black Bear was maybe one of the ones that did Talk to Me. I could be completely wrong, but either way, so many distributions in this movie. I recognize not one. And there were so many that I at one point I think could have gone to go get a refill on my popcorn twice.
100%.
Come back, and there would still be more distributions
100%.
being presented. It was a lot.
But
anyway.
going back to the movie, since
Yeah, it
we
was great.
rambled on a lot about AI.
It was great.
One of the things that I found that this little girl was crazy. Lily, first of all, she was scary as fuck.
She was really scary.
When she kept looking at the camera, I'm like, you
I was
don't
like,
have to look at me.
Don't look at my soul.
Don't
like
look
that.
at me. When this bitch said Jack and June went up the hill to fuck each other's brains out,
I was like,
Oh,
girl, you crazy.
crazy
I was like, you had a pocket for that one.
that.
You had a
you
pocket for
had
that
a
one.
pocket for that. I mean,
To be fair, that
it
was
wasn't
Mr.
her.
It was
Mr.
Mr.
Wriggles. But I'm like,
Bro, that shit was so weird.
But I know she
I
meant
was
it.
like, girl.
I was like, oh,
I
she
want
put
to-
everyone's business out there.
Okay, yes. I want to talk about that scene where she's being possessed in that moment. I really, really loved it, and I loved how creeped out I actually was feeling during that scene.
It was really
I
creepy.
genuinely felt I felt a little
It was
scared.
it was eerie.
It was very eerie, very scary because there's the whole her talking, but there's also a distortion to her voice and everything. But also the way that she looks completely different when she's possessed, and I think that's what makes it
She
even
looks
scarier.
like the mom from The Conjuring.
After
when
she's possessed, yeah,
It's like that same makeup and,
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really creepy. It's very eerie. I also loved the audience in the movie's reaction to the whole possession and everyone gasping and some screams and everything. And I don't know. I just thought it was really good, and I really liked that scene. And it actually left me spooked. I was kind of
Speaking
scared
of the audience, can we talk about that scary ass skeleton man
that skeleton man.
and the guy
was
that's dressed up as El Chapulín
very-
Colorado? I'm
I've
just
never.
kidding.
I did what? I was like, I did not see that.
No, he's dressed as the devil, but
Oh,
he kind of looked like Chapulín Colorado.
I'm fucking dead.
And I'm like,
No,
no,
yeah, the skeleton
man.
The skeleton man looked a little crazy
Sus.
and very, very sus.
very sus.
He's probably, I don't know if he was trying to portray an actual skeleton, and I'm like, sir.
And then he has a little cameo at the end.
He does.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't get good vibes from him.
Yeah, no, me either. I thought immediately that he was either supposed to be
Mr.
yeah, like I thought he was supposed to be either the devil, kind of just watching, or I don't know, maybe one of his minions or something.
I noted, or not, I didn't. I just took credit for it. No, I didn't. My sister noticed that when Jack was cutting Lily out from the restraints, his dumbass left it on the table. And so she looks at me and she's like, this dumbass just left the knife on the table. Like anything could happen. Lily could stab someone.
Very true.
And look what happened.
He did it. Right?
Yeah.
He's the one that did it. I love it. I love it.
I do want to say one last thing. After the movie,
Mhm.
a couple, I don't know if they're a couple or a dad and daughter or whatever, but a gentleman approached Adri and I, my sister, and we were just debriefing and discussing the movie. And I'm trying to, he asked us, did Jack know, did he know, I forgot what he said. He was like, did he know that he was going to sacrifice his wife? And I said, yes. I told him, yes, that I think he knew he was going to sacrifice his wife. And then I mentioned the scene at the very end where we see the scene again of him signing the contract, which my interpretation was he was signing a deal with the devil. And I think it was the sacrifice that he had to make in order to rise to fame.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And I think we asked them, like, did you like it? Did you like the movie? And both the woman and the man said that they really enjoyed the movie. So
It's a really good movie. I will say the only thing that I'm still kind of left with is like, what are the tall trees that the devil kept telling Delroy about?
The occult that Delroy is a part of.
The occult that he's a part of.
Yeah. Because again, this is an allegory for, it's this common thing where they say, you people in Hollywood, they sell their souls to the devil so that they can rise to fame. The tall trees, if you remember from the beginning, there's footage of some tall trees in like the forest or the wood, in the woods or whatever. And that is, from my interpretation, unless I'm
like the rise to fame.
No, maybe could be 100%, but like the woods where they go and do all the sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that the tall trees just mean like, hey Jack, remember those tall trees from when you did your sacrifice?
Oh.
I think that's just my interpretation. It could be completely wrong, but that's what I thought.
Okay. Oh, I was just going to say that. I don't know. I that does make sense. The tall tree analogy that you were talking about, but I don't know. I was getting something different because, I guess it was his past, but I guess I went too far back and I was like, oh, maybe he killed someone. Like, I don't know. I was thinking of something completely different, but I don't know. Maybe I'm lacking deep thought with like these past two movies that we just watched. I don't know if it's because I have dead brain from like the past 2 months of just, I don't know, being on a constant go. But either way, I didn't hate the movie. Was it like my ultimate favorite and is going to make my number one? Probably not. But I enjoyed this movie. I really liked it for what it was, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a movie, and because I think Shudder is one of the distributors or one of the sponsors at least, which is going to come out on Shudder on the 19th of April. Like, it's a very Shudder movie to me. Like, I'm glad it came out in theaters because the amount of movies that I'm obsessed with that are on Shudder, amazing, and I would love to watch them on big screen. So I'm really grateful that I got to watch a movie like this on a big screen, but it's very much like Shudder. Like, it's very much indie, and I love it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love everything that's behind the movie. I loved everything that was on screen.
Me too. I'm excited to rewatch when it comes out on Shudder.
Yeah,
me
too.
I am interested in rewatching it.
Me too.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it.
In 5, 4. Now, here's Mr. Midnight, Jack Delroy.
Oh, good evening, night owls, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms once again.
And thank you for allowing us into your headphones once again. Okay, anyway, let's
move on and get into the cast. This cast,
I love this
phenomenal.
cast. Oh, amazing.
Let's start off with the
The
star
one
of the
and
show,
only
the
Mr.
one
Midnight.
and only David. I swear that I practiced this before we started recording. David Dastmalchian? Dastmalkind? I don't know. It sounded German.
It did sound German.
When the person was saying it. Anyway, love you.
Yeah, he's great.
Awesome actor.
Yeah, he is great. I love him a lot.
As Jack Delroy.
He's awesome.
Laura Gordon, who looked so familiar, as June Ross Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Ian Bliss as Carmichael Haig.
Hey.
Faisal
Faisal Bazi.
Bazi as Christu. Ingrid. I can't talk, y'all.
You said that correctly.
Ingrid.
Turley.
Ingrid. I'm never calling any of my children that name. Torelli as Lily.
She a scary bitch.
Very scary. Rice Alteri as Gus McConnell. Georgina. Wait,
Haig.
are they? Oh, Haig. Yes, as Madeline Piper. Wait, are
That's
they related?
Minnie.
Oh, no, it's just, they're
No,
two
that's
different. Oh, you're so right. As Madeline Piper. Josh Tart as Leo Fisk. And Steve Mouzakis as Xandor Diabo.
Is Xandor the like his
Satanist,
oh
the occultist, the one who summoned the demon that possessed Lily?
Then who's? I'm just now noticing that I don't think that they were included in the cast. Was who's his like producer or the one that he's always talking to, the one with the glasses and the curly hair?
That's probably Leo.
Is it Leo?
That's probably Leo.
Okay. Yeah, that actually kind of looks like him with like, if I imagined him with glasses, a
Mm-hmm.
cigarette and curly hair. Also, lots of smoking in the 70s, which given, yeah, we knew. I personally don't like smoking cigarettes. I don't like the smell of them, but I think they look so badass. And so I
agree.
I like the aesthetic of smoking a cigarette.
I think especially in the 70s.
Yes. There's just something great of it. Like, yes, kill your lungs.
My sister used to work with someone who went to high school in the 70s. And she went to the same high school that my sister and I did. And she was like, "Oh yeah, like you could go into the like little patio that we have in the middle of our high school and just smoke." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so
yeah,
crazy."
girl, smoking was so accepted back then. Which I don't know, cigarettes in general, just very aesthetically pleasing to look at and looks nice. Would I do it? No, but back then, ignorance is bliss. Little did you know you
Live for
was
a
killing your
change.
lungs. Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Well, I think it's time for a little game that we like to call Would You Rather? Yeah. So
Ding,
for
ding.
this Would You Rather, we have two.
Well, you can just do the one. Mine's not that great.
No, yours is actually way better than mine because
Oh,
I
okay,
don't even have a second part for mine.
Okay, so then
I
let's
was
just
just
do
gonna
one.
come up with it, pull it out of my ass.
Let's just do one then.
Okay, then I'll do yours. Would you rather witness an exorcism in the audience of a TV show? Is it an exorcism?
I mean, I
yeah.
kind of took it further.
Or be the one they perform the exorcism on national TV. Let me just mention the other one that I couldn't think of a second one. It was, would you rather sacrifice a loved one for eternal fame or blank? I'm blanking. I can't think. Okay. But let's go with yours.
Or okay. Because I was also going to try and add a second one to
Yeah,
yours, but I
it's a
too
little
was
hard,
like,
right?
I like the first part, and then it kind of
Yeah.
like, wait, I don't know what the other one would be.
Yeah.
Or we can just add it. We can just do three.
Okay.
3 ors. 3 would you rathers.
I mean, would I sacrifice?
a loved one, or would you rather be in an audience, or would you rather be the one? Like, would you rather be the one to watch that episode back and say, oh my God, I was part of that audience. I witnessed that in person.
100%.
Or would you rather watch that episode back and say, that's me.
I mean,
Like you survive in both scenarios
here's the thing,
to be
Monica.
like, yeah, that's me.
we have to put ourselves in our own shoes,
Yeah.
right?
Where I fits, I sits.
Do we want eternal fame?
I do.
What are we willing to sacrifice?
Our loved ones. Myself. Because either way,
Sell
you're
our soul to the devil?
see in my eyes, you're famous either way.
Yeah.
I feel like I always choose.
I mean, I don't think you're famous if you witness an exorcism. I mean, you could say, "Oh my God, I was there," but like, no phones are allowed. Also, in the '70s, phones didn't exist. I mean, cell phones at least.
Yeah, but like, you know how they keep panning? They pan to the audience
It's
and they
true.
show the
They're like, "Hey,
audience
that's
whenever.
me."
Yeah. So, in my eyes, I mean, if I'm surviving in both scenarios to be able to say that I lived through that, shit, put me on TV. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one performing. Yeah,
Performing?
not literally. Like I'm gonna be the one that they perform on. I'm gonna be the one on TV.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna just say that I witnessed it from the stands. I'm gonna be like,
I-
I was there. That was me.
I kind of want fame.
Okay.
And after what Autumn Marie did to, I'm just kidding.
No,
no.
I'm gonna sacrifice Adri.
No.
That is exactly her thought.
I'm sacrificing you.
But I'm not a loved one. I'm not. Loved one means like family.
No,
You have to say-
really?
Yeah.
No, really?
That's how I interpret it.
Okay, well, okay.
You
fine.
should.
No.
Yeah, and see, that's another reason why you can't sacrifice me because it wouldn't work.
That's true.
You'd have to sacrifice a loved one.
That's true. Because
You
I
don't
don't
love
love
me.
you.
The devil would be like, bitch, you just killed a friend.
What am I going to do with this?
What do you want me to
Anyway,
do with this? That is so funny.
Would you rather? Okay.
You want eternal fame?
No. I mean, I do. But for this instance, nah. I think I'm going to choose. Es que you have to put. I mean, you're going to feel really sick, like physically, and you
If-
know,
if
you're the one being
Like, possessed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. But you're not
Like-
there for it mentally.
that's true. I kind of want to do the exorcism.
You want to be the one to perform the exorcism.
Perform the exorcism.
Okay.
I'll perform the exorcism on you.
Okay. That way we're both famous. See, it's
Yeah.
a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. So yeah, I choose.
Okay.
I choose the fourth option, which is
Perform the exorcism.
Perform the exorcism.
Dang, you show up in like priest outfits and everything.
Hell yeah, bro!
I love
My little
that.
rosary.
Yeah, brother.
Anyway,
I love that.
all right. Well, let's go ahead and it looks like we're ending the episode or getting near towards the end of the episode.
Yes.
So it's time to rate the movie. Now, this is a horror movie. So we will have
Yes.
our 2 scales of satisfactory and scary. And as
Mm-hmm.
we say in every episode, just because a horror movie is good does not always mean it is
Scary.
scary and vice versa.
Vice versa.
So, Monica, why don't you start us off with your scary and satisfactory?
Thanks so much. Okay. Scary, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. And I think that's a pretty high number because it's a little bit more than half, but it's not enough to like I went home fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was I in the theater fine? No. Like I was disturbed and I was a little like, "Oh my god." Also going back a little bit to kind of reviewing the film a little bit. I didn't care for the CGI that they did use in this movie whenever she was like her head was all open and she was like killing people, but like I don't know what that was, but I didn't care for it.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I think what I noticed, and I could be wrong, but what I noticed is when Gus was like his worms were coming
Mhm.
out, that was very 70s, like
Yeah.
very 70s
gore? Is that what
makeup.
you- Oh, yeah.
Like
It was cool.
special effects makeup, yeah.
It was cool. But yeah, I don't know. The scene of Lily like being possessed with Mr. Wriggles opening her head and then it's like a beam of light
it was
that kind of
really
starts shining everywhere. I don't know. I didn't
Interesting.
but I don't know. I didn't care for it. It felt really cheesy to me. It felt very like superhero-ish and I was kind of like, okay, whatever. But what saved it was the kills of the way that she was like killing everyone. So it's fine. But the actual devil possession, like the scene that we get with her and her adoptive mother, is cool. And I was very spooked and I was very scared. The ending was very mind fucky and weird too. So
Yeah,
it got what it got out of me, and I felt things.
I think the reason why I am wanting to compare it to Hellfest is because is it
Hell
no,
House.
you're so right. Hell House. But I don't know if I'm confusing Hell House with another one. But I mean I know which one Hell House is.
Yeah.
But no, yes, it's Hell House. Because you know how at the end of this movie, Jack walks up to the scary ass owl and all these people are watching him, right? He just like gives him a hug or whatever. And at the end,
That was weird. That was weird.
that
as
was
fuck.
like super uncanny and
Yeah,
disturbing.
it was.
But at the end of House, what's her name? They the reporter opens the door and there's like these random just creepy ass robed people in the room.
Yeah.
In the hotel, or whatever, haunted house. And I think that's kind of where I'm getting the parallels-ish from. But yeah, I think they both give me the same amount of
Like disturbance.
terror feel,
Terror. Okay.
and disturbing feel. And I think that's why I'm comparing them a lot.
That makes sense. No, I completely get it. I think I'm realizing that what gets me in scary movies is possession. Like there's something about not being in control of your body and then being like what is in control is something that you cannot physically see, touch, hear. Like, I don't know, like it's just something that you can't physically see. And like, it's just really scary. The thought of being possessed, honestly, like I make fun of it all the time and I'm like, oh my God, hee hee ha ha. But it's like, it's actually kind of scary. And I don't know if it's because the first movie I ever truly was terrified of was like The Exorcist, even though rewatching it now, it's not that bad. But it's like possession in general. It's just scary. Like The Conjuring and like shit like that, like genuinely scary to me. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 for scary. Satisfactory, I'm giving it a good like 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It's really good. Like I don't hate this movie. I'm just knocking it off a few points because of, I guess my expectations were just not met, but then again, I don't really know where my expectations were when I went in to watch this movie. And a little bit of cheesiness I felt whenever she was kind of beaming light out of her head and her arms, and I don't know, it was a little
that was
weird.
interesting.
Yeah. And then I guess really just those few things. Like it's not really anything major. I love the vibes. I love the type of movie that it is because it's not found footage. It genuinely feels like a broadcast.
Like the poster.
The poster to
with his
I
head
like
on
all the
fire.
poster. I was gonna say that one is cool, but I liked all the posters. I've seen
Yeah.
a few of them and they're all really good. I'll probably make it the thumbnail for this movie because they're all just really nice.
Yeah.
For this movie, for this episode. But I don't know. It's an overall good movie, and I cannot wait for it to come out on Shudder because I will be rewatching it 110%. Like it's gonna become, and since it's based on like Halloween night, like it just now became a Halloween classic.
That was another thing that I wanted to mention. Whenever they mentioned Halloween night, 1977, I was like, OMG, Halloween, like the actual movie, John Carpenter. But no, Halloween came out in 78. So
I mean, yeah, but still.
And another thing that there's so many things that I wanted to mention, but
It's such a good movie.
it is a really good movie.
It's a good conversation
Stephen King even really liked this movie.
It's a good one. And I can only imagine like people who maybe grew up in the 70s and like were able to experience the 70s as it is. Like I wonder how they felt about it. Because like I'm telling you, it is really nice.
really
the theme
good.
of this movie is really true to the 70s.
I really enjoyed it.
I felt very immersed. I felt like I walked out with like a 70s
with like
haircut.
Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett hair.
Bell bottoms.
And like a rainbow striped
Groovy.
t-shirt. Some what is it? Like some thick boots. Some go-go boots.
Yeah, some go-go
I was feeling
boots.
crazy.
Yeah, you
Anyway.
were feeling groovy,
I was
out of
feeling
sight.
groovy. Loved it
all
all.
that good stuff.
So what about you? Scary, satisfactory?
Scary, 6 out of 10. Another thing that I wanted to mention as well is when I said at the beginning that I felt like I was on the edge of my seat, I have not felt like that since guess which movie?
I was literally gonna be like,
Evil Dead
Rise. I'm
Yeah,
done.
you know
I was
me so
gonna say,
well.
it's been a while since you've been moved.
It has been a while.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
I love
I
that.
appreciate
I'm,
it.
I'm very happy.
I appreciate it. No, yes, and when I say that I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat, it's because I'm genuinely focused on the screen.
Yeah.
Like I
sure.
can't look away. And I really enjoyed that. But scary. Yes, scary. 6 out of 10. No, spooky, terrifying. Literally the first word that came to mind when I watched, I don't even know what scene it was this is terrifying. Satisfactory, 8.5 out of 10. I didn't leave feeling unsatisfied. I don't even think I had any expectations that needed to be met. But overall, I liked it. I don't remember if it was this movie or Immaculate, but there was a movie, literally one of these two, that I was like, I hope it doesn't end there. I think it was this one. I was afraid that the movie was going to end literally.
Oh, after she like wipes everyone out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like the door just closes on Jack's
Yeah.
face. And I was like, ugh, no, like I need more.
Yeah.
That would have left me extremely unsatisfied. But personally,
The little extra pieces that we get after that.
the next like 5 to 8, maybe 10 minutes that we get of the rest of the movie, I think fulfilled.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What I wanted to
Yeah.
see. And yeah, so satisfactory 8.5 out of 10.
Love.
I really enjoyed it. All right.
Okay.
Well,
We survived.
I could
Late night with the devil.
Yeah, we got hypnotized, we got possessed, we got all of that, and we are still here to tell
To tell the truth that
the
I was
story.
the one, that I was Lily.
You were Lily.
No, it was great. No, I liked Late Night with the Devil. If you've never seen it and you want to, and you've listened to the episode and you don't, because you don't mind spoilers and everything, I would say watch it. I would say for this movie, unfortunately, don't rely on especially the ratings that you see online, because there are a lot of people that are bombing this movie on purpose that have not even seen it because of the AI controversy. And I don't think that does this movie justice. I think it's a really good movie for what it is, and like for being an indie film, a low budget film and things like that, it still does really, really good. I don't know. It's an overall good time. Like, just in this case, if you don't mind being in the middle of like a controversy of that sort, do give this. I recommend this movie 100%. It's really
Me
good.
too.
It's really good.
I recommend it.
Yeah, it's good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this concludes this episode on Late Night with the Devil.
Love.
Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. I'm just kidding. Conan
Late Night
O'Brien.
with Jimmy Fallon.
No, I got huge Jimmy Fallon vibes from him.
Oh,
Which I mean,
absolutely.
of course, there's other.
I mean, it's like the talk show host vibe
but
and everything.
For some reason, I
but
just got Jimmy Fallon.
that is so funny.
And Gus.
R.I.P. Gus.
R.I.P. Gus.
R.I.P.
The
Gus.
only one with common sense.
He did have common sense. It's always the musicians. It's always the like sidekick musicians who
Yeah.
always have like the best, most common sense and understanding of what's going on. So that's great. I love
Well,
that.
if you haven't watched this movie and you would like to, and you're intrigued by it, well, guess what? You can watch it at 2 places. In movies, in theaters right now.
In theaters.
Or you can watch it on Shudder, which Monica just confirmed it for me. Comes out on the 19th.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Scream City.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time to listen and be a part of our horror community.
That we love to
Your
grow.
support
We love
means the world to us. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a review or sharing it with your friends and family. And if you want to keep up with us, we will have our social media in the summary.
You know what
description.
I think I'm going to invest in some t-shirts that have exactly that wording on our script, and then whenever it's time for us to get to that segment, we're just gonna pan to our shirts.
You know, this is super random, but I was recently watching like 2012, 13, 14, 15 YouTube, like beauty guru. First of all, Chef's Kiss. Chef's
prime
Kiss.
time. Oblivion.
And a
finest.
lot of them say, "Well, I'll have like links in the down bar," and I'm like,
Oh,
my
they do say down bar.
God.
That's so
I was
funny.
like, oh, that was such a throwback. I was
Lingo
like,
changes
I'm gonna start
throughout
saying
time.
that now.
It's insane.
Everything, all the links, everything in the down bar.
In the down bar, y'all let
below.
us know. Yeah, we seriously can't thank you guys enough. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. So if you like today's episode and you would like to tune into next week's episode, you should.
Please.
Because we are going back to the early 2000s, the peak of horror, if you ask me. We're going to talk about a 2011 movie. You're next. Next, you are.
So, you are.
You
next.
are literally next.
You are next. And you know what else is next? You're next.
You're next.
Your
I'm
next
excited.
is next.
I have not seen this movie, I think, since like 2011 or like 2011, 2012. Shut the hell up. 2011, 2012, around that time is, I think, when I watched it, because I remember it kind of being at its peak. I remember it being compared to, I think, The Strangers.
I don't doubt it.
Because it's very similar, but it's
this movie
it's similar,
left
but
me,
it's different.
This movie left me like I'm really excited to
No,
talk about
I am
this
too.
movie.
And I'm actually excited to like rewatch this movie again, because I remember watching it. I remember liking it, but then kind of just leaving it. Like, it's one of those that I'm like, oh yeah, I watched it, you know?
I literally just watched this on, if I'm not mistaken, either St. Patrick's Day or
I think
2
it was
days
around
before that.
Yeah.
I'm
excited.
and I am going to rewatch it because
Yeah,
it's that
it's good.
good. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yay!
Monica, before we
Yeah.
end the episode, I have a really important question to ask you.
I do accept to fight. Outside. A
Cash
duel.
me aside. How about
Cash
that?
me outside. How about it? Okay.
That was
Yes.
crazy.
What is your question?
Crazy time in the world. My question for you is: do you think this week's movie, Late Night with the Devil, is a movie?
You know,
Answer wisely.
I'm so glad that you asked me that, because even though my rating for this movie is not like super high, well, I don't know. I think what I gave it was pretty high rating. I thought it was a movie.
I think it's a movie.
I thought it was a movie.
I think it's a movie.
Yeah,
actually.
I thought it was a movie.
I'm gonna say it's a movie.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Not just a movie. No,
it's good. I like this movie a lot. Like, am I good? Like, if I ever find merch of this movie, am I gonna buy? Absolutely. I will.
Me too.
110% own anything of this movie.
Lloyd, write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Yeah, I liked it a lot. So I thought it was a movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was good.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
agree.
I love it.
All right. Well, that's it for today's
That is it. Then you guys have
it. There you have it, folks. Thanks again for tuning in and listening to Scream City on all of your streaming platforms, all the good stuff. As always, we've been your host, Jess.
Monica.
Stay safe.
And stay spooky.
Late Night with the Devil.